Hello everyone. So this is our very first session under Month of Learning program by DSC and ITJ. And today Prashant and Jia will be conducting an event on UI UX. So I would like to hand over the stage to both of them. Good luck guys. All the best.
Yeah, right. Okay. See, can you add my stream? Okay, so right. Hey folks, hope you all are doing great and I hope you have a very great start to this new year. So, this is here Jia Mittal and here my friend Prashant Prabhakar. We welcome you all to this great session of introduction to the world of UI UX. And this is going to be a very informative session for all of you as UI UX plays a very important role in growth of any business. So, let's get started. Right. Let's have a quick look on the agenda. We will be telling you about what is UI UX, more learning about UI, and what are the design tools we have, design softwares we have, and there will be a short session on hands-on Figma and the resources we will provide you for further reference, and then some things about what UI UX designers do. Right. So let's hop into what is UI UX. Right. So I will be telling you a very basic meaning of UI UX first, right? So here let's talk about UI first. UI basically means user interface. It has a very simple meaning as the name clear itself. User interface means interaction of a user with the application or website. So it basically focus on the how of a product. Let me give you an example. Okay, you all must be using Instagram, right? So what you see, like if you want to interact with this app, to interact with this application, interacting means liking this post, sharing this post, okay, saving it or viewing anyone's story. So these all are interactions. So how are you doing it? Suppose if you want to like this pic, you click on the heart button. If you want to save it, you click on the save. If you want to go to notification tab, you click here. So by clicking these icons and buttons and clicking their images and scrolling through screen, you are actually interacting with the application. So this comes under how this screen gonna look, how these icons gonna be arranged, and how these stories will look. So this all comes under UI. Similarly here also. So I guess UI is pretty clear. It focuses on the how of a product, that is basically looks and style. Okay, if I talk about the cake commercial, how this cake gonna be look, what its shape gonna be, and what are the colors we using, that all comes under UI. Basically all the visual elements you can see on a screen constitutes your UI. Now let's talk about user experience. User experience stands for like when your user is using your application, what he's feeling, if he's having a positive or negative or neutral experience, क्या उसकी problem solve हो रही है. So it basically focuses on the why of a product, like your what features you have in your product and why your product is needed in the market. Let me explain you with this an example. You see here example of Instagram again. So as you all know, Instagram is a basic app, like which on which your profile is basically based on your pictures. So Instagram modifies this application by allowing you to add hashtags, right? You can tag people, you can add locations. So all these features gonna increase reachability of your post. So all this thinking process, like to provide users more and more features, like what are their needs, what more they want, all this thinking process and their implementation comes under UI. So UX. So basically I hope the basic meaning will be clear. What is UI and what is UX? UI basically works with front end development team and UX basically works with business analyst, right? There is a famous quote by Peter Morville that why and how are inseparable. It means you cannot separate UI design and UX design. They always go hand in hand. Like you cannot imply one without the other. If you're gonna make UI design, you first have to make UX. And if you're gonna UX without making UX, so there's no role of making UX, right? So that was all about the basic meaning. Let's learn some more features that should be present in your UI. So first is clear and concise. Very simple part, like as the name like itself clears it. Clear means your UI should be very clear. Your element should be very clear. Like what you are you gonna convey to your users should be pretty clear. Like here is a very simple example. Just look at this. Here your password is wrong. It just shows error. It doesn't tell you where the error is. But on the right side, as you see, it tells you that your password is incorrect or your email is incorrect. So of course we are gonna opt for this now. So when your users have exact clarity of your UI, they're gonna enjoy it, using it, and they will look more forward to it. And if we talk about concise, like as the name suggests, concise means delivering your information in a required number of words. Like you don't have to use extra words. For example, look at this example. It says you need to log in to download this video, and here it says log in to download. So of course this is more effective now. Like आपके यूजर्स का टाइम वेस्ट नहीं हो रहा है, या their time is saving by being concise. So we have to opt for always concise UI. I hope it is pretty clear. And this is a very beautiful example of showing you a bad UI design and a good UI design. Just look at this. The here the UI is very cluttered. You cannot see like what it is all about. But if you see on the right side, here the UI is pretty clean. Like when your UI is clean na, so it favors one more feature, that is scannability. I tell you what is scannability is. Like na, some people have habit ki they don't go from word to word of every website. They just scan the headings and the topic they are intrigued in, they just read that topic. So if you look on this UI, we have headings here. So the user, like उसको जिस टॉपिक में इंटरेस्ट आता है, he will read only that topic and it will save his time. But on the right side there are no headings, there is no division, so he have to go through whole website, and a user will get frustrated and he will surely give it up on it in just a few seconds. So that's why your UI should be pretty clean, right? Let's move on to the next feature we have, that is familiar and intuitive. Like I tell you what the meaning of intuitive is. It means when you look at something, you just get its meaning by looking at it. You know, you don't need to google it or something. So it means that your UI should have very intuitive features, means very familiar features. Like look at this example. See, these are the styles we use for clickable buttons, and these are the styles we use for non-clickable buttons. So if users are already aware of these things, right? If it has a gray color, that means it is a disabled option. If it has a like this type of gradients, it means it is clickable. So if you're gonna these in your like UI, so users will be pretty clear, and it will be easy for them to use your application more effectively, right? Similarly, this example, if you're going to use tabs, the user will itself know that these are the tabs. If I open one tab, I will read its content, and all the other tabs will remain at its position, and I can navigate through them anytime. So always use familiar elements, right? Let's move on to next feature. Your UI should be consistent and attractive. What I mean by consistent is, like there are some designers who use like about 10 20 fonts in a single design project. So that doesn't look appealing. So you have to be consistent in color, in theme, in layouts, in fonts, in textiles, in everything you can be. So it will be look more appealing. Like if you have one font for heading, one font for simple content. And just look at this example. Like Google uses every same type of color combinations for its every icon, for Gmail, for Drive, for Meet, right? So this looks bunch of more and more colors. And similarly this example here also. And if I talk about attractive, many people confuse attractiveness with like adding more shiny and more elements. No, that is not the thing. Very simple UI can also be attractive. Okay, let me give you an example. See, this is the first example I have taken for the system. See, whether you look at an iPhone, or whether you look at the iPad, or whether you look at the Mac, they have consistent design everywhere, consistent wallpaper, consistent arrangement of icons, their image, the images they use for their apps. Okay, so like when someone shows you this screen, you can easily tell like it's an iPhone screen. So that what consistency means, right? Let me give you one more example of this Duolingo. See, this UI is very attractive. Why it is attractive? See, they use this owl mascot, like they use these different animations. They always use these circular notations for keeping track everywhere. So this UI is consistent, and their theme is consistent throughout. Their like spacing, padding, and all. So we can say consistent and attractive UI design always go hand in hand. Attractive doesn't mean you have to add more elements. It just means you have to keep it consistent, and you have to show minimum elements such that it makes your UI look appealing, right? Let's move on to efficient. Now, this is very simple and very important feature of UI. To make your UI efficient, you must know which audience you are targeting, right? Which like age group you are making your project. So let's look at this. If we see here, we have example of WhatsApp. You all use WhatsApp, right? So WhatsApp targets a very large mass of people, from small kids to old age people. Everyone can use WhatsApp. Why? Because it is very efficient to use. There is nothing to figure out more. Like there are chats, there are status calls, and everyone can pretty understand it easily. Okay, you don't need to have something. But if we look at Discord, it provides a lot more features. It provides a lot more status. Like व्हाट्सएप में तो क्या होता है या ऑनलाइन या ऑफलाइन, बट दैट्स नॉट द केस विद डिस्कॉर्ड. ना वी हैव नाइट मोड्स and star modes and everything. We also have boards. So a normal person like us, the Gen Z generation, so they also take much time to figure out what Discord is. So Discord is for enthusiastic people, right? Who are like more activities. So you must know which audience you are. Okay, Prashant, can you mute your mic? Okay, so you must know which audience you can target, and it will help you make your UI that ways. So here are the design tools, and now Prashant will tell you about the design tools we are having. Up to you, Prashant.
I guess I'm live. So moving on. Thank you, Jia. Now moving on to the design tools. We'll be looking that magical design tool or the software that will stay in your taskbar or desktop forever. So here you go. I have listed three most popular softwares, which are Sketch, Figma, and Adobe XD. And you guys might have guessed by now which one we'll be going with. Yes, it's Figma, and we'll be using Figma because Sketch and Adobe XD has some downsides. Like Sketch is only available on Mac, and Adobe XD is paid and has less features than Figma. So now moving on, we'll see what Figma offers us. Figma requires no installation, like you can use Figma on your browser, and it is an independent platform, like platform independent, so you can use it on anywhere, like your phone, any device, like any desktop or anything. It is up to this industry standards, and it is the most used design software among the designers. So it's very powerful, so you can do anything on this software. It is very easy and effective to collaborate, like you can work with people right into the project. It has free plans which gives you like everything you like, no need to hassle of this premium stuff. It has regular updates and features, so like you don't feel that buggy or like there error things. Now the best part is it has a like community right inside the Figma software or the Figma whatever you are working on it. So you can explore that community on your own. And Now let's see some resources that help you to learn, grow, and make your life a bit easier. We have listed our resources that we have like found so far. Here are some blog websites where you can read more about design, learn more stuff. Like UX stuff is so good on these websites, like on Medium and Adobe XD Ideas and all. Then, if you are like a YouTube tutorial person, then we have listed some best YouTube channels. Like Figma themselves had put very good content on their YouTube channel. Like you can learn very easily Figma and design from their YouTube tutorials. Then there is people also like who can teach design in Hindi, like Ansh Mehra, and we also have like good design contents from like the foreign YouTubers like Design Pilot and Whiteboard FM. Now, moving on, we have like communities, like the design communities. We have like very famous communities on Dribble, Behance, and ADP list. You can search and look people's design, like how they make designs. You can upload your own designs, make your own portfolio over this community, and communicate or like just interact with people on these communities. Here are some other tools beside Figma that can help your life, like make a life bit easier. Like this website is very cool, like Coolers. It generate color palettes for you, like very good colors. Make My Persona is like the UX thing. Then there's Whimsical. There is Component Library. There are like so many other websites or the tools. Now we are having a hands-on Figma where we'll be learning how to use Figma, and we'll make our very first design on Figma. So by the way, this whole presentation is actually made on Figma. That's also a like use of Figma. Like you can make presentations also. Like this whole presentation is made on Figma, and this Figma file will be available on our Discord channel, like Discord server. So please go join our Discord. We have put this presentation, this prototype on our description of this video, so you can check that out too. So I have created this extra page called Hands on Figma, where I'll be working with, and we'll create this layout of a bakery shopping app, just like Amazon and everything else. You can buy breads and donuts and like dessert stuff over this like this application. So we'll be making this, like making a clone of this over here, and I have listed the components. Like I have broke down this whole UI into components, and will and also listed the design concepts that we'll be looking on. So let's just start, and I'll just be teaching how to use Figma while creating this UI. So firstly, will we have to create a frame to make this screen, or and the size of the screen can be made with these templates. So I have created this frame. You can make a frame from here, like this frame, or press F on your keyboard to make a frame like this. To make it a size like a iPhone size. This is an iPhone, so I'll just go here and I'll turn this to iPhone 14 Pro. Like this is the template. I'll just use iPhone 13 Pro. So it has made this template. So now we have these components. Number one is this top nav bar. So for top nav bar, we have this text called "Good morning." Okay, I forgot about layout grid. So on observing this design, you can see like everything is inside these two red lines. So we have like this margin over here. So margin is important as it makes easier to say things. As Gia has introduced told you about the bad design, like a bad design would have like everything going till the edge of the screen. So we don't want that. So we will be creating this margin over here with layout grid. So I'll just go and put plus, click on this plus to make a grid. And I'll just change this grid to columns, and I'll just put a margin of 20. So you can see like there is white spaces on the end. I will not putting any element on this white space. So our first content is like element is this text called good morning. So I'll put this text, and I'm changing its font and size. So you can change everything about the text information from here, like text properties. I'm changing it to Poppins. You can check out more fonts like good fonts or over Google fonts. Like let me just go for a second. You can search good fonts over this. Like I'm using this Poppins, and we have this. Then we have this icon over here. So for that, I'll be creating one more frame of 40 by 40, and we'll be having this icon, like this search icon. For icons, I'm going to this website called the Noun Project. You can go to this website and find good icons. So uh, for icons, it is recommended to use SVGs. We also have other websites like if I search icon, you can find many websites like Flaticons, Icons 8, but these websites actually don't have premium for SVGs. But this website like doesn't requires premium for SVGs. So you will be asking what an SVG and what how it is different from an image. So SVGs are vectors, and vectors can be scaled. Like it won't compromise the quality if I zoom in. Like if I have an image and I zoom in like 1,000 times, and it will be blurry, but an SVG won't do that. Like it will maintain its shape. So for icons, it is always recommended to use SVGs. And I'll just scale this down. How I'm scaling? I'm pressing shift and scaling this and dragging this to scale it down. I'll just put this icon into the frame. Like if you put anywhere, you can align this to the center with these buttons, like this horizontal align and this vertical align. See, it has aligned it to the center of the frame. And then we have this frame as circular way. So I'll just go to corner radius and increase it till it becomes a circle. And we'll be also adding a stroke so that it stays as a ring. And see, we have created this icon. Let's just scale it down a bit. And we have this profile icon. So I'll again create of similar size like 28 by 28. And for images assets, there is a website called Unsplash where you can find good quality images. So I will go and search person. I'll be using this person. I can download it for free. I can go again back to my browser and I'll import this image. Just you need to drag and drop anything if you want to import. I have to resize it. So that it can fit into the frame. So again, to put inside the frame, you can just go and drag it into this. You can also do this from this layer panel. See, we have this layer panel where you can see everything, like every thing you have put inside this frame, like this frame is also there. Okay, I forgot to mention that you can see every frame or every element over this layer tab, and it's recommended to rename everything. So I'll just make this frame as phone screen or like home page. And then we have this text as good morning, and then we have this frame as search icon, and then we have this frame. So I'll just rename it to profile picture. Let me just reduce its size a bit. And again, we'll do the same. Increase the corner radius so it will become a circle. And I'll just put this here. So you can see everything over here is aligned on a line, on a horizontal line. So what I'll do is to align all of them, I'll select all of them, and again, uh, to be sure, you have to select frames, not the image, and you will see this little thing to tidy up things. Let me just, okay. Yeah, I just have to align it to horizontally. Okay, this is aligned, and I will move this to the edge. This one too. Okay, we have created this top nav bar. Then we have this offer card. So you can see I have created a frame. I have told you about frame templates. I have told you about layout margins. We have created the top layout. Okay, grouping is left. So what I'll do is I'll select all of them. So I have to select the frame, and I will right click and group selection. So everything will come under this hood called group 103, and I'll rename this group to top navbar. So why grouping is important? Because if somebody says like I want this a bit down, so you're not going to select everything one by one and putting it down. So putting in everything in a group would help you to move everything very easily. Like I can just move this up and down anywhere. Then we have the offer card. Again, I'll make a frame. Then we have this image. Let's just take it out. And we have this image which I got from the Unsplash only. You can search and get any other image, or you can find this image also. Just increase its size, height. And then we have these text. I've already written this text because we have limited time. Okay, so here a concept to be learned, the concept of hierarchy. So hierarchy is nothing but creating difference between the content. Like you can see this has a bigger font, a boldness, and this is like regular text and a bit smaller font. So hierarchy is creating difference between the elements ताकि हम define कर सकें different elements की importance. वी जस्ट वांट कि कोई भी अगर बंदा आता है तो वो स्पेशल ऑफर्स पे ध्यान दे, नॉट जस्ट लाइक द बिलो थिंग. लाइक इफ आई एम सर्चिंग फॉर समथिंग, व्हेन आई रीड दिस स्पेशल ऑफर इन द बिग टेक्स्ट, क्योंकि ये मेरा टेंशन ग्रैब करेगा, तो मुझे पता लग जाएगा कि दिस इज एन ऑफर कार्ड. अगर मेरे पास सब कुछ सेम उसके हों, सेम फॉन्ट विथ मतलब सेम फॉन्ट साइज के हों, तो हमें नहीं पता लग पाएगा कि ये किस चीज़ का है, लाइक ये क्या है एक्चुअली कार्ड. सो टू सेव द यूजर्स टाइम, टू सेव द यूजर वैल्यू, हम हायरार्की डिफाइन करते हैं कि किस एलिमेंट की क्या वैल्यू है. कि वी वांट टू लुक ऑन द फेवरेट प्रोडक्ट्स, देन दिस इज द सेकेंडरी थिंग व्यू ऑल. लाइक इसको छोटा टेक्स्ट किया हुआ है एंड कलर चेंज किया हुआ है. here also this is a good example of hierarchy, like bread पे थोड़ा सा मतलब सैचुरेटेड है, एंड डोनट एंड केक पे कलर थोड़ा सा डल है, ताकि पता लगे कि ये ब्रेड हमने सिलेक्ट किया हुआ है. So this concept of hierarchy is important, and I'll just again put the corner radius क्योंकि ये curved है edges पे. So we have created this uh, offer card and just need the color. So for filling colors, there is this fill tab. I'll just click on this white square and I can change its color. So I'll just go to yellow and change it to this orange color, and I'll just put this inside. I'm keeping in mind कि मेरी जितनी भी चीज़ें हैं वो margin के अंदर है. Then we have this text called favorite product. So I'll again press P, your, and its font should be 20. Let's just change this to 20, like even it. And then we have this text called view all. And इसका font size थोड़ा सा कम कर देते हैं, like 16. And इसका color change कर देते हैं, इसको semi bold से regular कर देते हैं, and इसका color change कर देते हैं to something like brown. And then we have this card. क्योंकि हमारे पास टाइम कम है तो मैंने ऑलरेडी ये कार्ड बनाया हुआ है. It's easy to make this card. It's just like you have created this offer card. You can create this card also. Okay, again I forgot something, like I have to group these two also. I can group these two with Control G or like right click and group selection. And I'll just rename this group to your favorite products. And this frame is already named as chocolate donut. Then we have this order section, like again it's similar to this. I'll just copy this and paste it down below and rename this to orders. Okay, then okay, order. And we have these categories. मैं एक category बना के दिखा देता हूँ. So again create a frame, and then we need this icon of cake. I already have this icon. I got it from this noun project site. And then we have a text called cake. Group these two, make the distance between them, like you can change the distance between them with these, like you can drag it from here or you can change it from here. And again I'll make this group center line and increase its corner radius ताकि एक pill shape में बन जाए. And we have to change its color. This also has a color picker, तो मैं color picker से color pick कर लेता हूँ and put this. Okay, let's just have these two also. I've already created बाकी जितने, and इन तीनों को मैं ग्रुप कर दूंगा अगेन, एंड मैं इन तीनों के बीच का डिस्टेंस चेंज कर सकता हूँ ऐसे. एंड इसे ऐसे प्लेस कर दिया. We have then again these cards. जो कि मैंने ऑलरेडी बनाए हुए हैं. It's a bit harder to create these cards in such less time. So we can have another session someday जिसमें हम लाइक और भी हायर कंसेप्ट सीख सकते हैं. देयर इज़ अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ ऑटो लेआउट एंड प्रोटोटाइपिंग ऑल्सो जो कि अभी नहीं हो पाएगा. So we'll be having like agar if this session goes well we can have that session also ताकि जिसमें हम थोड़े हायर कंसेप्ट सीख पाएँ लाइक हायर चीज़ें डिज़ाइन की और जिसमें हम ऑटो लेआउट वगैरह सीख पाएँ. लाइक दिस इज़ ऑटो लेआउट. I also created this also. You can make this with grouping also. Like you just need to make frames. Add this icon and put this text home and select these two, group them, change the distance between them, and center align this group. And you have to just make these frames multiple times and just change the contents, and again put a frame. And इन सारे ग्रुप्स को सिलेक्ट करके अगेन ग्रुप them again and इसको सेंटर लाइन करता हूँ. It's just similar. So you can create this. Just so हमारा like UI almost तैयार है. Let me just hide this layout grid so you can see it properly. And there you go. You have created your first design. So also I'm giving you an assignment. We have also have this page which is the login page. So I'm giving you as an assignment. आप ये बनाओ. I have already created this, so you can take reference if you need any help or like cheating करनी हो तो. So and you can access this whole Figma file from our Discord server. So that's all from my side. Now Gia will be continuing.
Okay, hope I am audible. So that was a very informative session by Prashant. He almost tell you each and everything about basics of Figma, and I hope you enjoyed it. So let's move further and cover this short topic of a roadmap. See, when you go for a UI, when you go for a product design, it's just not like that you have idea in your mind and you simply jump onto the product design. There are different steps between them, so I will be telling you each of these steps. So first our step is defining. Okay, you need to define the need of your product in market. You simply cannot just make a product. Yeah, there need to be some need of it, right? So let's take this hypothetical example. Suppose there is there is a bakery named Bakery Paradise, and this person wants to open an app so that people can order online through that. So so that it can save their time. They can pick it up anytime whenever, like they are free, right? So now there is the need of this app in the market, that's why he's making it. So defining part is very important. You should have a problem statement first. Next is user research. Once you have a problem statement, once you have a idea in your mind that you are going to make this design, right? So you have to do some user research. Now what does this user research mean? See, user research means is कि आपको देखना पड़ेगा like what your users need, what more features they are gonna have, like what more features they will enjoy. So what you can do is you can already go through the similar designs and what their features are. You can read their reviews, like what people like about them and what people don't like about them. See, this is a similar bakery app, and what that person did is make these good and bad points, that he's gonna add these good points and he's gonna avoid these bad points. Okay, so this will help you make your app more suitable for your targeted users. You can read the problems for the comments people are facing. You can do surveys, you can ask your friends. So all these things comes under User research is very important. You just cannot add features on your own, like आपके mind में जो है आपको जो features अच्छे लगे आपने डाल दिए, तो ऐसे नहीं होता. It's ultimately users who are going to use your product, so you have to go through like the various things that can help you add them, right? Next point is flow diagram. Now you have idea in your mind, you decided all the features, you did your user research. What you're going to do next is you're going to make a user flow diagram. Now what this means is like you will decide how the user is going to navigate through it. Like first he will make an account, then he will land on the home page. On home page he will get these options, like he can set his profile, he can see the previous orders, he can search for any cake or donut or pudding, etc. So these features you decided, so you're gonna arrange them, and then after in profile, what you're gonna have in profile. So this kind of flow diagram you need to have it, right? So this will define your the layout of your the flow process of your application, and it will help you make your screens accordingly. After flow diagram we have wireframing. See, wireframing is as equally important. It is just like the skeleton of your application, or we can say the blueprint of your app. See, what you have to do is just put these gray boxes with lines and buttons at the place of image. Just put any sample text where you have to, convey your information. So you just have to add random lines and boxes and these gray boxes instead of images. It's just a basic skeleton that how your UI is gonna look like. So this is known as wireframing. See, wireframing is very important. Like if you wanna make any changes, you can easily make it in wireframe rather than making changes in the actual design, right? After that we have mockups. Now let me explain you what mockup is. So mockup is a still design. Still design means which is static. Like you, this is not functional. All these buttons, all these images, these are not clickable. It's just show you how your when you like put boxes, the final content over your wireframe. So this is how your design is gonna look like. Now you made this design, you identify some problems, like there is too little white space here, this looks more cluttered and more of information. So you do iterations and iterations, like to make it more clean and more appealing. So after doing iterations, you final come to this UI. So these are all are known as mockups. Mockup means like which are not functional. It's just shows, it is a kind of low fidelity design which is just gonna show how your UI gonna look like, right? After that, we have prototyping. Now, many people get confused between prototyping and mockups. It's very simple. Mockups are still design, while prototypes are functional designs. It means the buttons you see, the icons niche in navbar you see, these are all functional. Like you can click them and you can switch screens, you can scroll screens. So this is prototype. Prototype is a high fidelity design. ठीक है, तो after creating mockups you create prototypes to just test the functionality of your UI. After that we have finding inspirations. Now all you did mockups, you did prototypes, wireframe, you did everything. Now you're gonna go for theme, like what theme your application should have, what colors it should have, which type of icons it should have. So you can go through different, like Pinterest, Dribble, Behance. You can go through these sites, you can have real life inspirations also. And the things you like you like this font sized, right? You like these colors, so you start to collect them at a one place, like you make collage of these things. So this is known as finding inspiration. And when you make a collage of such things now which you like you think that yes, these things you can apply to your UI, this will look good, so this is known as mood board. So after creating mood board, you put up all the things like in one place. You move on to creating style guide. Now what is style guide? See, this is like a document. Like I finally choose these colors, like I am going to use these colors in my UI, I am going to these fonts in my UI, I am going to use these icons in my UI. So when you collect all the final things. Like yes, you are gonna use only these things in your UI, and when you collect them in a document, that makes your style guide. Style guide is basically guiding for style, like what your actually UI gonna constitute of these colors, these typography and all. So you apply all the things you have, right? You decided in your UI, and this is what you make from that. So this is the bakery app you have. But this is not your final product. One last step, and that is a very important step, you cannot skip it. This is usability testing. You made your app, you added features according to the users, but sometimes the thing is na, the design you make, users don't use them as you wish. Like आपके दिमाग में कुछ और होता है कि हाँ आप ये सोच के डिजाइन बना रहे हो, बट यूजर्स को बहुत गलत वे में लेके जाते हैं। ठीक है, तो उसके लिए क्या होता है, वी हैव दिस यूजिबिलिटी टेस्टिंग। ठीक है, आप यू कैन आस्क योर फ्रेंड्स टू यूज इट, यू कैन हैव अ सर्वे, यू कैन आस्क योर रिलेटिव्स टू टेस्ट इट। सो आफ्टर दैट यू कैन हैव दिस मैप, like which features they liked, which features they did not, in which features they have problem with. So after that, all having user feedbacks, you can make the required changes and solve their problems, because user experience is all about finding users problems and solving them, right? So after getting all this feedback, you make required changes, and then your final UI is ready. So these are all the features, and it is gone through one by one step. So that's why this is the final, and it looks very appealing, and it has all the basic features which I tell you previously about UI, right? So it's like this roadmap is a iterative process. What is mean by iterative process is that if you change one step, you have to go change the next step. See, each step is dependent on a previous step, so you have to go through one step very carefully, right? So now we see, yes, there is a difference between UX designer and a UI designer. What a UX designer does, it defines the product, it does the user research, it designs information architecture, which is a user flow diagram, and it do wireframes. Whereas a UI designer, it does prototypes and mockups, and think about all the theme and aesthetics your product gonna have. So yes, UX designer and a UI designer are two different things, and I hope now you will never get confused in these things. So there's a meme for you. When sometime next time anyone say you that UI designer or a UX designer are same thing, like make sure to give this Leonardo DiCaprio look, because there is a difference between UX designer and UI designer, and never confuse them. And ending our presentation with this beautiful theme which says it is not easy to be designer. You have to have like so many roles. People look out for you like for their personal projects also, but it is a like very interesting field, and I think you should also try it if you have like, if you know you're gonna have some interest in it. So this was all about it. Thank you very much, and I hope you like me have gathered some information, and I hope you all will try it out. That's all I would say. Thank you so much.
From my side, I guess people were asking for my face cam. Like people were excited to see my face. So here's your face cam. Thank you everyone for having this like session, like having this much views. We appreciate it a lot. Like this was very informative session. We enjoyed this session. I forgot few things. That's I fucked up like thoda sa.
It's
So
okay,
thank you everyone.
Prashant. You don't have to be no sad about it.
Thank you everyone for this session. Also,